You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
I've got another special guest here today on Daily Star Trek News, here to celebrate the launch of the latest season of Star Trek Online. I'm talking to Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Leeta, and of course, Star Trek Online's Admiral Leeta, Chase Masterson. Now, we've got plenty to talk about, from her journey with the game to her charity work with Pop Culture Hero Coalition, and why Star Trek Online fans are helping make a real difference in the real world. I'm Alison Pitt, and this is Daily Star Trek News. This show is supported by people like you through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/Daily Star Trek News. Right. Chase Masterson, thank you so much for joining me on Daily Star Trek News. I'm really, really excited to have you here, and I am so excited to talk about what we're going to talk about.
Thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you as always. Congrats on the show.
Thank you very much. Yes, it's a whole different world since the last time you and I talked. That was a different show many years ago, and it's lovely to see you again. Okay, so we're talking about Star Trek Online today, and I am so excited because you are back in Star Trek Online, and you're one of the fan favorites, and I couldn't be more excited that you're going to be reprising your role. Now, listen. You have done a number of roles over the years, and it goes all the way back to pretty much the beginning, wasn't it? You started off with not your current role.
No.
Tell us about your different roles that you played in Star Trek Online over the years.
Well, thank you. I'm extremely proud of the various aspects of Leeta that I've gotten to play with Star Trek Online. I've been Holo Leeta, which, as you know, is very different than regular real-life Leeta. Right. Holo Leeta is... she's a Dabo girl. She's still Leeta, who we know, but Holo Leeta had a different job and had to come across a different way than Prime Leeta. And Prime Leeta is, by contrast, a person with a wonderful home life and married life to Ram, who I love deeply. He is now the Grand Nagus. It was 30 years later, I believe. And Leeta, having, lived quite a lot of life and made choices and taken risks, and has a very solid identity in all of that.
She's a wonderful character.
Thank you.
But that's not who you're playing this time around.
Not by a long shot, honey. Admiral Leeta is ferocious, just absolutely the Admiral you love to hate. She is delicious. She would, as I've said, eat the Borg Queen for breakfast and still be hungry. She will stop at nothing to get what she wants. She's all about power and the different ways that she can employ her power or get more power. And is just so wonderfully fierce and ferocious and fun. Yeah. In this episode, we get to see different sides of Admiral Leeta. So they're even taking Admiral Leeta farther. Once Admiral Leeta gets to come into the Prime universe, there are some changes made. So
Mirror Leeta came into the game like 6 years ago now. I think it was 2015.
Oh my God.
And it was a tremendous amount of fun. And she's been a staple. She turns up every now and then. So now she's coming back in a little bit of a different position. And is she like good? Because she needs help, right?
Leeta does need help. Leeta needs frankly, Leeta needs the players' help.
Yeah.
So the Emperor is doing something that is threatening the existence of life as we know it everywhere.
Yeah.
And the Emperor's choice could destroy both universes. And so what Leeta does is basically commit mutiny, and she leaves the mirror universe, comes over into the Prime universe. When we first encounter Leeta, she's actually in prison, and she's asking for the player to help her. And in turn, she will help the player and hopefully save the universe. So look, there's a little bit of good in all of us. She can't help it. She wants to do this. Why? Maybe there are ulterior motives. Sure, everyone's got them. But it's really fun to see Leeta enlist the players' support, empathy, assistance.
Yeah. As opposed to just shooting at the players on a regular basis.
Exactly. We're making a switcheroo here. And so I think it's really going to be fun for everyone. I know it was fun for me.
Okay, so I was just reading the details of the season, and here's what it says. Marina Leeta warps in from the mirror universe to warn players of great danger. She is being tracked by Mirror Kumarke, who I don't believe that we've seen before. And Kumarke was played originally by Kipley Brown. So Are we going to see Kipley back in the game too? Are you allowed to say?
We do see Kipley. And
that's very exciting.
Yes, I've known it and worked with Kipley for a very long time. The origin of that is interesting. We both did a movie. We were in a movie that I produced called Yesterday Was a Lie, written and directed by James Kerwin. I just have to throw that in there, who's really been a big help in getting Kipley into this game. And the fun thing about this is that Kumarke and Leeta used to be on the same team. Now Kumarke is trying to kill Admiral Leeta, Mirror Leeta. And so there's a different layer of treachery and betrayal and mystery, like who's on whose side now. But all we know is that the universes are being threatened, and if the player and everyone else wants to have a chance at surviving, they need to listen to Leeta. The player and Leeta need each other.
Okay, so I want to come back to that in just a second. That whole change in dynamic between Admiral Leeta and Prime Leeta and Kumarke and Mirror Kumarke. But I did want to just talk about Yesterday Was a Lie, because it's gotten some really good attention, and I went and I watched the trailer for it, and it looks really intriguing, and I'm going to go back and watch it. It's now the 10th anniversary, is it? Yeah, so it's been out there for a while. I did not realize that was the first time you guys worked together.
It was, yeah. I think it's a brilliant film. Truly, just objectively, it's one of my favorite things that I've ever done. It's a study. It's a sci-fi noir shot in classic black and white, where Kipley plays a woman who is exploring the world in a lens of quantum mechanics, the nature of time and the nature of relationships. And I play a woman who just could well be her alter ego. We don't exactly know her conscience, her alter ego. It's a really brilliant piece of work. And it's, as I said, it's shot in classic noir style. So it's super fun. And we all love different kinds of sci-fi. And I'll just say this really fast because I don't want to get off the subject of Star Trek Online. But I produced it, and Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca, plays a character with his own face. And it was the only time that he played a role with his own face.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think there was one other movie at one point, and then he did Sinbad, but this was one of the very few times anyway, that, and Peter was brilliant, just a lovely, lovely man. So I just wanted to just have a little moment of Peter Mayhew celebration. I'm sorry, that's Star Wars. Let's get back to Star Trek Online.
No, I wanted to mention it because obviously that's we're going to see you and Kipley kind of playing together again. And I wanted to mention that people should go and watch that trailer because I thought it was a tremendous amount of fun. So bringing us back to Star Trek Online. Now, so Kumarke, Kipley's character, has been good this whole time. She's been sort of the beacon of hope and light and helping the player. And now she's going to turn out to be the adversary. So did you guys put your heads together on how to transform into a mirror version of yourself?
You know, we didn't actually. Kipley and I know each other very well for a very long time. Everyone fades in and out of touch, so there's that. But we didn't really have to, partly because this game is written so well. So big shout out to Al Rivera and his team at Cryptic. One thing we love so much about doing Star Trek Online is that it really is so beautifully written. We always make the point that this is more Deep Space Nine. Everyone's always asked for it. Here it is. So there's the incredible writing. And that's just always super fun because especially in voiceover, you can't do what's not on the page, you know? So yeah, it's all there. There's enough dynamics. We didn't have to add any.
Good. I'm really looking forward to see how those approaches play out. It should be a really good time. For you personally, what are you in the new season? So the new season, season 24, it's called Reflections. I don't think I mentioned that. What are you personally most excited for players to experience in the upcoming action?
Thank you. It's so delicious. When I am, did I just do that? Like
you did.
One of the things I'm most excited about is the deliciousness of that dynamic. You know, we love Leeta, first of all. And I'm saying that objectively. It's just a lovely character that they wrote. And her integrity, her compassion, her dynamics is always just so wonderful. Mm. To flip that on its ear and to be the most outrageously horrible person ever is so fun. And I've had a great time playing Admiral Leeta because of all of that ferociousness. This, in a sense, takes it back again. And great storytelling does that. It turns the audience on its ear. And it actually forces the audience to make choices about how we feel about characters. Like, no, wait a minute, are we going to love her now? Because like she's been trying to kill me for years. Now, like, what's happening? And so that element of trust that the player needs to have as Leeta and the player go through this game is quite interesting. And the twists and turns of what is happening and what can happen and what needs to happen is super fun. I hope I'm not giving away too much, but they said I could say this. And I think that there's so much more than what I'm saying that it's good.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to talk it's over a decade now that you've been with Star Trek Online, and you're a fan favorite, and you're just, you're bread and butter of the game. What is that journey or that relationship with that team and the fans meant to you personally?
Thank you. That's a wonderful question. That means a lot to hear you say that and ask that. None of us wanted this show to end. We all loved it so much for so many reasons. And just getting to be back in it is a rare treat. It's, as I've said, it's super fun to have more of the Deep Space Nine dynamics and storytelling. It's really fun to explore the mirror universe always, because who doesn't want to have that? I love the Cryptic team. This game is made by a bunch of people who love Star Trek as much as we do. And it's so much fun. The one thing I missed about recording this is we recorded remotely. So Al Rivera, who is really the brains and heart behind all of this. Hi, Al. Al and his team were on the phone. And I was in a recording studio here in Los Angeles. And I loved it. It was fun, but it's really super fun to go by the Cryptic offices. And if anybody who ever gets to do that is in for a rare treat, because it's just full on magic all over. It's Star Trek, and everyone's got all of their fun, paraphernalia, memorabilia, like action figures everywhere. And it's just the passion of it is so great. And there's other playful, fun things and toys and everything everywhere. So that is, and to meet the people that make it, you never know what people are doing if they're just doing a job, but they're like, no, look at what we did. Oh, look at this character. And do you have time? And here, let me show you this. And just the passion is super fun. And I think that's why the game is so quality, because everyone's heart is in it. Yeah. Our show is like that. So it's nice that the game is like that. And it really is.
Yeah. I remember saying a lot before the most recent new series came out. So it was prior to 2017. Star Trek Online was our Star Trek. The writing and the adventure and everything was, that was the Star Trek we had before Discovery started back up again. And you were a part of that.
Thank you. It was a pleasure and an honor to be, really. Yeah, Star Trek Online has been the thread, that's really been constant. And it's wonderful. A lot of people have various feelings about the different shows, but this is, you get to be interactive in it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, but it's the player living those adventures with you. Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
Yes. Oh, and wait, I was just going to say, one of the things that I love about this next season is that there's a redesign of Leeta. And I haven't seen any of it yet, just to be honest, but they've told me about it and how excited they are about it and that they really like it. So
cool. Look forward to seeing the new assets when they come out. Cool.
Thank you.
So I wanted to pivot a little bit and talk about your other passion, which is working with the Pop Culture Hero Coalition. The last time you and I spoke was, I believe it was in 2018. You and I did an interview with your friend Scott Palm, and we were talking about, you guys were developing a new curriculum, I think, at the time.
Yes.
So, I want to come back and talk about that a little bit, but firstly, could you just give a brief rundown of what Pop Culture Hero Coalition is and the kind of work that you're doing with it?
Thank you so much, Alison. So I founded Pop Culture Hero Coalition in 2013 with Carrie Goldman, who's the author of Bullied: What Every Parent, Teacher, and Kid Needs to Know About Ending the Cycle of Fear. And it really is what everyone needs to know about ending the cycle of fear. We realized that bullying is the same issue, whether it's on the playground or in relationships or in the workplace or in terrorism or war. It's all dynamics that are unfair to the victim. It's all oppression. And all of that oppression is based in people being unhealthy inside, in greed, in fear, in insecurity. And so Carrie came at this because her daughter was bullied. You might remember Star Wars Katie. And again, sorry to say Star Wars, but hashtag Star Wars Katie. And Katie was bullied for carrying her Star Wars lunchbox to school. And so her mother, Carrie, put this out online saying, if anybody loves Star Wars or anything that's gender nonconforming, my daughter's getting bullied for being a girl who loves Star Wars. Well, plenty of us are women who love science fiction.
Yeah.
Right?
Hello. Yeah.
And so thousands of people responded, and I was one of them. And I said, Carrie's post went viral, and we all said, Katie, you get to be who you are. You get to be loved for who you are. And so Katie kept her Star Wars lunchbox, and Carrie wrote this book. And I do a TED Talk where I tell the whole story, and it's I think it's both highly entertaining, frankly, and also heartful, how we formed the coalition. But so that was Carrie's background. I had the background of working with men and women coming out of gangs, Crips and Bloods. I mentored them at Homeboy Industries, and I saw that if these guys can end their dynamics of hatred, so can the rest of the world. And I thought of how much I've learned through Star Trek and learned from the fans about how active you guys are in making this a better world. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone to a convention and there's like these Klingons meet you at the airport and they go, here, we had a Klingon car wash for your charity. And I've supported many charities throughout the years, and this has always happened. And so you guys inspired me to found this coalition. Originally, as I said, it was to end bullying, but we realized the heart behind that, it was really about mental health. Mm-hmm. So now it's about both. And ending bullying, racism, misogyny, LGBTQIA plus bullying, but also teaching people healthy identity, and that every person is great, wonderful, and to be cherished and celebrated exactly who they are. You have a right to your feelings. You have a right to be who you are. And I'm grateful to say that this little organization that I founded as a grassroots self-funded thing in 2013 is now the mental health program for YMCA of the USA nationwide. Our program was picked up by YMCA during the pandemic. I am very grateful to have had the support of Star Trek Online and Perfect World Entertainment, because it was that money that they raised last year with a fundraiser that you guys did that propelled us into creating the work. I'll just say this real quick. The Heroic Journey at Home is a group of tools that we have available on our site free of charge. And we created this during the pandemic because we knew that people would have struggles. Everyone's locked up in their homes and all of the issues are exacerbated: loneliness, depression, anxiety, fear. And so we created this program called The Heroic Journey about how to be a hero for yourself during difficult times. We had it translated into Spanish, German, and Italian. And this is what we did with the money that Perfect World and Star Trek Online raised. This is what you guys did. And it's been an incredible help to so many people all over the world, helping them get through the pandemic. Yeah, thank you. Where do you go when you don't have help, when you can't reach out, So we're able to be a really significant support for people. And that work that we created that was funded by you guys was picked up by YMCA of the USA. And so now, if you go into any YMCA in the country, it's our program.
That's wonderful. And I'm so glad you brought up the change in the pandemic, because I was going to ask you about that. Normally you're going into schools and talking to children. And of course, a lot of children ended up being in remote learning. And so it's great that you guys were able to develop something and turn what is effectively the Star Trek community and funnel that, channel that into something that actually was, that helped people last year. That's wonderful. It gave me goosebumps. It's really cheesy to say, but I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, that's the thing. We love Star Trek for so many reasons. We love it because it's great, fun, delicious storytelling. We love it for what Star Trek Online does. Yeah. And we also love it for the power that it has in the real world. And so this is both. This is actually the Star Trek Online people buying a game piece or two and contributing to incredible real world good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's supposed to be done. It's great.
Thank you, truly.
So just getting a little personal for a second. So the slogan for Pop Culture Hero Coalition is "Be Kind." I mean, this is something that should be super obvious. Like, how is it even a slogan? It should be the baseline. But sometimes it kind of just feels like it isn't. Yeah. So you personally, why do you think that slogan resonates with people, and why does it resonate specifically with you?
Oh, thank you for asking. What a great question. It really is so distilled. As you said, it's the basic. And it's not always easy. It is a good reminder. My own t-shirt is a good reminder. The slogan, the idea of it, we have this saying, hurt people, and healed people, heal people. And we weren't the first to say it, but we say it a lot. Because we all have those moments when our patience is challenged, we're annoyed, we're aggravated, it's been a long day, someone was just mean to us. There's so much strife, there's pressure, there's pandemic pressure and fear, financial pressure and fear, all sorts of dynamics that can come at us. And be kind is not necessarily really the soft, be kind, kind of pink and blue kind of thing that a lot of people see it as. Be kind is hard. If we're going to be honest, be kind is ferocious. Be kind musters all your courage and all your strength. And it says in the moment when you just want to scream, and you get to scream, you do, but there are choices that each one of us make every day, of whether to just let our ability to snap, and then the chain of hurt continues, or whether we can just take a mindful moment and be there for ourselves and know that we can be there for whoever it is that just cut us off in traffic. Okay. And not cut off the next guy or not do the next, you know what I mean? I mean, that's a really rudimentary example, but just a little love goes a long way. Yeah. And it's the tiny things in life that can either make or break our day. And then obviously that goes forth on a more systemic level. But it really does start with us and each individual's ability to knowledge of the ability that we have to be good in the world in ways that are small and big.
If you have one, what's your top tip for making the choice to be kind when you're finding it really difficult? Do you have any top tips?
I do. this sounds really cheesy, but being mindful, like really having the self-awareness to go, uh-oh, I'm about to be a jerk. I'm about to say something, or just, there's some really challenging family issues that I'm experiencing right now. And when someone is horrible to me, I just want to be a jerk back. But it doesn't, what do we want in the long run? What do we want? That's the goal. What do we want in the long run, not the short run? It doesn't mean you don't get to speak your mind. You get to speak your mind. You get to lay down your boundaries. Being kind is not about being a doormat.
Right.
Being kind to yourself is also super important. And taking that moment, just having the presence of mind to go, I need a breather. I want to take care of me right now. And who doesn't need that?
Yeah.
We all need that. And when we take care of ourselves, as big as the cliche is, we have so much better a way of being in the world. For our jobs, for our careers, for our families, for our friends, for ourselves. It all really starts with self-kindness too.
And then sometimes you just need to go and fight some aliens in Star Trek Online.
Sometimes you just need to, sometimes you just need to shoot back at Admiral Leeta.
Right.
Get that out, man. Just go for it. Yeah. And sometimes maybe you'll just team up with her too. Who knows?
I gotta say that I haven't played it in a while, but there's a mission in the Badlands where it's Admiral Leeta keeps warping in, and you just like shoot the bejesus out of her, and it's a tremendously satisfying part of the game to play. So thank you for helping with that.
Anytime, man. God, I could help. Yeah.
All right. Well, Chase Masterson, you are appearing. I'm so excited in the latest series of Star Trek Online's new season 24, Reflections. It's out when this goes out. It'll be today. September 14th on PC and November 2nd on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And people can find out more about that on StarTrekOnline.com. Also, Pop Culture Hero Coalition, you can find them at popculturehero.org or at Superhero IRL on Twitter. You guys on Facebook too?
We are Superhero IRL across the board.
There you go. So great. Star Trek Online season 24 Reflections is out today. Go play it, enjoy it, and just revel in Chase Masterson's new latest adventure. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you all so much. Kudos and huge respect to you, Star Trek Online. And Allison, thanks for this. I think you guys are going to love it, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Great.
This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.